If you're not running webinars in your business, you're probably missing out pretty big. I found a way to run webinars that makes a very good return on ad spend. Just to be clear, obviously, webinars are not a new thing on the internet. People have been doing them for a very long time. But I think the problem is when businesses try them out, they're not really doing it correctly. They don't have them set up correctly. They're not tracking things correctly. And so a lot of businesses will try out webinars and they just won't make it, they won't do it profitably. But if you set it up correctly, you can not only attract a ton of new students, a ton of new clients, a ton of new sales, but you can make a tremendous profit. So you can turn around, take that profit, put it back into the machine, and then repeat the process continuously month over month. The reason webinars are so powerful, just as a side note here, the reason they're so powerful is that you can run Facebook ads or YouTube ads. You can collect a bunch of cold traffic. In other words, people that have never seen or heard of you before. You can drive that traffic to your webinar. You do some kind of presentation where you demonstrate a clear transformation that they can easily obtain. And at the end of the presentation, it only has to be like an hour long. You close them on your coaching or your course or whatever your product is. And it works especially well with high ticket products. So if you're selling something that's like $3,000, $4,000, $10,000, this strategy works extremely well. So let me give you some numbers just to show you an example. I've done probably close to 20 webinars total in the last few years, but here's 3 of them that were pretty successful. So on this one in July last year, we spent about $535. This was just as a test that we were doing with this company, and we had 47 people actually sign up at $11 each. CPL, cost per lead, $11 each, which is excellent. And the product we were selling was $500. It was like a Kajabi course or something like that. So we sold 3 of them, made $1,500, and we ended up at nearly a 3x return on ad spend. So successful test. It went extremely well. And then this last month, I did another webinar with another company. We spent $4,000. We acquired 145 people. They signed up for it. And the cost per lead was $28. So a little side tangent here. $28 cost per lead for a webinar like this, that's actually kind of high. I would want to see it a lot lower. The way this funnel was set up, there was a couple technical things that they just weren't quite dialed in. So the cost per lead ended up being a lot higher than it was supposed to be. But it ended up being fine because we collected $25,000 cash and ended up at a 6x return on ad spend, which is very, very good, obviously. And then another one we did that I did with a company a few days ago. We ran $7,000 worth of Facebook ads. We collected 308 leads at $23 cost per lead, which is decent. Could have been a little bit better, but it was still decent, and we still collected a tremendous amount of cash. Again, this was a high-ticket product, somewhere around $7,000, $8,000 for the people that signed up. So it only takes, of the 308 people that signed up, only like 25 of them actually showed up to the thing. That's one of the problems with webinars, so to speak, is that you'll get a ton of people that sign up, and then a small percentage of them will show up, and then an even smaller percentage will convert. But if you have everything dialed in, that small percentage that buys your product will pay for everybody else. And those other people, the 308 people, let's say 250 of them didn't even show up to the webinar. Those people, we now have their email addresses and phone numbers so that we can still continuously build authority, still offer them value, reach out to them, build that rapport, and a lot of them will end up converting later on down the road. So this actual cash collected will end up being higher 6 months from now, and the return on ad spend will be even higher because more of these people will convert over time. So this is the basic overview of the process. All you need to set this up for your business is Facebook ads or YouTube ads, some kind of ad software, website. Facebook is my preferred. Webinar Jam, which is this software here. This is just a way to have like a private room that you can do a broadcast in. If you don't want to use Webinar Jam, you can also use YouTube. There's some pros and cons to doing that and how you set it up, but Webinar Jam is my personal favorite. So you need Facebook, Webinar Jam, and then just a basic landing page. So you'll drive traffic from Facebook. You're going to capture their name and email, and then those people, when you go live later on the month, if you want to do this once a month or once a week, whatever it is, they get notified that you're live, and then they go there and you make your presentation and close a certain percentage of them. So a lot of businesses try this strategy out, the webinar strategy out, and they don't do a lot of the components. And I'll go into more detail in other videos on individual components on how you set this up, how you set up your ads, how you set up the landing page, how you set up the actual webinar presentation. All of these things are extremely important. I think a lot of businesses will try this out and they just won't They won't do their homework. They won't do the process correctly. And so they'll spend a ton of money on ads. People will show up and they won't convert anybody or very few people, and then they'll end up losing money on the webinar, and they're just like, oh, webinars don't work, and then they give up. So I've gotten this process nailed down to a science. And so my role, if you wanted me to help you, I specialize in actually setting up all the technical details. I'll set up the landing pages, the Facebook ads. I'll teach you how to actually record a proper Facebook ad, how to structure it so that it's compelling and gets people to click. And then I'll show you how to structure the webinar itself if you want to do that. Alternatively, if there's somebody in your company that does the funnel building for you, I can come in as more a consulting role and show him or them how to actually structure everything correctly so that you can run a successful webinar too. So if this is something interesting to you, or if you have any questions, please just leave a comment down below. And I think I have a Calendly link down below if YouTube lets me, if you want to book a call with me and discuss if this is a good fit for your business so you can start converting more sales using webinars. Thanks for watching.